Hey everyone, in this video I want to talk about my alien experience and how you can connect with alien beings if you feel called to. Since I was young, I've always been fascinated with ETs and extraterrestrial beings. Ever since I saw a UFO outside of my window as a child, I'm not sure at this point in time if it was a dream or an actual sighting, but it felt very much like a homey feeling, like a longing to connect with them, and it felt very benevolent and light. So there's all types of ET beings out there. I believe that there's good races and bad races, just like humans, there's good humans and bad humans, but I do think that at this time a lot of aliens and UFOs are connecting with humans because they realize we're going through this big transition. So if you really feel called to reach out to them, they're open to it, but they usually don't make themselves seen unless they know that you're not going to be terrified and frightened. There's a whole process of how you go about this. Mainly, if you want to connect with them, you have to basically telepathically and from your heart center kind of beam out that intention. And it helps if you're in a group, but you can also do it alone. Basically, just really, once you get deep into meditation and you tap into that alpha, theta brainwave state, then it's basically they can pick up on that signal and appear to you. And the way that it works is, a friend of mine explained to me really well how she had a sighting, and she said basically it's like if you have a coin, say you have a quarter and you're spinning it on a table, and when it's spinning really fast, you can't really see it, you can't see its form. It's basically, it can almost be invisible. So that's kind of what it's like with the UFOs when it's in a different dimension and coming into our dimension. It tunes into our basically dimensional frequency, our radio frequency, so it will slow down and calibrate its frequency to appear here. So I don't feel that ETs are necessarily in this galaxy or like in this solar system. I think they're interdimensional beings, and they tune their frequency into our planet, into our location, and they appear. And they appear when we telepathically connect with them and send out radio signals to them that they can pick up on. There's a few UFO summoning groups that are active if you're interested in joining them. There's one with Dr. Stephen Greer, who's very big in the ET community. Also, Robert Bingham is very big in the community. They've done events like at Disclosure Fest and places like that. I think it's super fascinating, and I honestly don't know how people are not more fascinated by the fact that there's these other beings that exist and most people have no idea about them. Even the government's finally admitting that they're real, but there seems to be like a thought bias where because people have not accepted it for so long and it's not something you can really see and touch every day, that it's like harder to believe, or it's like it's always like it's easier to believe something if you're taught in school and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of fear as well around what if they are real. You know, it's pretty freaky because they probably are a lot more advanced than our civilization, so what do you do then? But I do think that we are related to them. I think that our human race is a genetic splicing of species on the earth plane as well as theirs. A lot of people who've had encounters or connected with these beings through plant medicines or just through dream state or through actual physical connections have said that they usually see themselves on the operating table, and there's a lot of this theme of experimenting with mixing the DNA. I do think most of our technology and our military technology comes from these beings. I think that's why there's certain people in our society that are more advanced and have these, because they have these sort of spiritual contracts with beings. And so I definitely think that you can tap into a lot of power by connecting with the right beings, you know, benevolent beings that could help download codes, light codes of information, and help you ascend more quickly. So I have some footage that I'm going to put in the video so you guys can see one of my experiences. I've had many now. It's almost not even a shock anymore. It's become so common that I can see them and connect with them that it's just like, oh, another one. Definitely you know that it's not just an airplane or a star because of the way that it moves. The one in this video was moving kind of like forward, like a saw wheel, had a very weird shape to it. And usually they're all different colors, all different shapes. Sometimes they're in groups of threes. They like to be in threes for some reason. And all different colors, different textures. But you just know by how it looks. Sometimes they'll be at a distance and sometimes they'll feel safer to come close. Yeah, this is super interesting of a topic, so I think that people need to be more open-minded and explore it, not be afraid. I think it's a good idea to ask benevolent beings for assistance with all the craziness that's going on at this time. I'm not seeking to convince anybody if this is real, or I'm sure a lot of people are going to think it's fake because of that false knowledge bias that we have with how we learn culturally and socially. For those people who have had experiences, I wanted to make this video to kind of help validate your experience so you don't think you're crazy, because most people will probably still think we're crazy until there's a major event or something where it's more obvious. Even though there's documents and things out, I still think a lot of people are going to be in denial just because of that desire for safety and familiarity. So check out the footage and leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts.